Namo Nui Savariyantam, Namo Nui Savariyam, Namo Nui Savariyam, Namo Nui Savariyam, Namo Nui Savariyavati Savanam, Omkara Mindu Sanyukta Nityam Jayanti Yogina, Kamadam Okshadam Jai Omkara Namo, Mangalam Bhagavanayo, Mangalam Gokamo, Mangalam Kunkundari, Ujendra Mosumangalam Namasamaristara. Swanubhutya Jakasti Chitsuvaya Davaya Vibhava Yusanidata.
Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Aryanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Ujjanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Saunam. Om Karam Bindu Sanyuktam Nityan Dhayanti Yoginam Kamdam Mokdam Cheva Om Karaya Namo Nama Nama Samay Saraya Swano Bhutya Chikasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkaranada Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavanta Varto Netirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvaniyapya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupamagati Pamel Sarve Siddhane Vandi Kahun Sutta Kevali Bhasita Asamaya Prabhrata Are Hum Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darsanamaya Kare Kayanyate Maru Jari Paramanu Matra Nati Are Jamanetra Tema Jagnana Nati Karaka Nati Vedaka Are Jane Jakara Modaya Nirajara Bandate Majamokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo, Om Namah Siddhebhyo, Om Sri Shuddhatmane Namaha. Jai Janendra. So today is March 22, 2016, and we are continuing our discussion on basic Jainism, and that is on we finished universe, then we finished total 6 substances. What are those 6 substances? Out of which, what is the soul that we discuss in great detail. Now we are talking about what is matter substance. Then we'll be discussing what is a media of motion, media of race, space and time. So that way we'll be finishing all the substances, and then we'll go to the specific attributes, and then there are specific modes, modifications and all the things. So this is our flow going to be happening in next several classes. So what is matter? We discussed so many things about matter. So we'll start with the slides. Let me put the slides on. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. So here we are. We are going to start from this slide. So what is matter that we are talking about? We are talking about specifically how will I know that this is absolutely a matter and nothing else but the matter only. How will I know it? And as we saw in the previous class, that there are certain characteristics that a given substance is known. How will I know that this guy is an engineer? Because certain things that he acts, the way he talks, the way he presents, the way his knowledge is, then we know that this guy has to be engineer. How will I know that this guy is a president? He will look like a president. He will have a aura around him, and people will be respecting all certain way that we know him. Same way, how do I know a given substance is absolutely a matter and nothing but the matter. As we said that there are 6 universal substances, and so they have their own specific characteristics, and I don't want to get mixed up with one with the other. For example, who am I? Am I Kirit right now? Well, if I say that whether yes, I'm Kirit, then Kirit is a name given to a child born at certain time, and to recognize him from different people, a name was given to that body. But actually, when the child was born, the child has association of soul with the body. Soul and body are associated, and that combination is known as a given child. So if I say I am Kirit, means Kirit was a name given to association of soul and physical material body coming into existence at particular time. So can Kirit be a soul? Well, then I'm mixing up with a material identification to a soul's identification, and that will be my mistake. And I don't want to create that kind of mistake. So in my mind, I had to have specific understanding that who am I, what a given substance is, what are its specific characteristics, and a given characteristics of a given substance has to be absolutely specific for that substance only and should not be intermingled with the other substances. So let's see what it says here. So this characteristics has to be without any of the following 3 faults. A given substance, whether it's a soul or matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time, out of 6 substances, the characteristics of a given substance should be without any of the 3 mentioned faults. What are those things? It has to be without any ati vyapti dosh, means the fault which has the characteristic which has extension of character beyond the determined object. Let's say that something is specific. Let's believe that something is a specific characteristics of a given substance, but that characteristics is also seen in the other objects also. Then this is the fault. What happens here? For example, a particular characteristics remaining present only in a part of an object. For example, if I say that any animal with a white color has to be a cow. Now, cow can, the extension of character, so that white color, this is a little typographic over here, so I'll correct that one. White color of the cow is there in the cow, but cows can, ignore this sentence, cows can have more than white color. White color of the cow, a given animal named cow has a white color, but this white color can also be present in the another animals. And so if we say that white color animal is a cow, that is not true, because that characteristics get extension into other animals also. A monkey could be white, a goat could be white, a chicken could be white. So this white color is not specific for a cow only, because that white color characteristics, if we consider, then it is also present into the other animals also. So this cannot be a characteristic. White color cannot be characteristics of a cow. Then we see the avyapti dosh, means non-inclusion. Non-inclusion, what happens? Too narrow, non-comprehensive fault means the characteristics seen in a given object, as well as I think this one has this is supposed to be over here. Let's put all the three things over here. But let me put this one. This guy is related over here. So when there is extension of character beyond the determined object, means the characteristics seen in a given object as well as other objects, means characteristic of a cow is to have horn. The horn of the cow, it can also be found in the other animals too. So extension of character beyond the determined object means a cow has a horn, so is buffalo has a horn, so is a goat has a horn, and so horn cannot be a particular characteristics of that animal. Non-inclusion, this one will come over here. Non-inclusion fault means characteristics, the cow has a white color, cow can have also more than a white color. So with white color, when I'm talking, that white color is also not in all the cows. Cow could be having a polka dots, cow could be black, cow could be brown, and different colors. So if I say that a white color means cow, that characteristic doesn't fit over here. If I say horn is a characteristic of cow, then it doesn't fit over here, because there is a ativyapti dosh, because more than cow, other animals can also have horn. Then last one is a improbable fault. For example, if I say characteristics cannot be found in a particular object, means soul has a color. Soul does not have color. Soul is colorless, because color is an attribute of a matter substance. So by doing this kind of exercise, it tells us that you have to go through a certain thing, certain characteristics, which has no fault seen of these three types of fault not seen in any of the objects. Then and then that characteristics becomes absolute characteristics for that particular substance. Having said that, we'll be going through one at a time different things and see what it shows. So the question over here, what's a fault? If one believes that matter is non-living substance. Now we are talking nitty-gritty things. In the previous slide, we took the example. Now we are coming to the matter itself. And if I say matter is a non-living substance, is it true? Well, matter is, living substance is a soul. This pencil has no brain, no consciousness, so this pencil is non-living substance. Well, what's wrong with that? Is there any fault with this one? Acharya Bhagwan says, yes, there is a fault. What kind of fault? Because matter is a non-living substance, that's true, yes. And also other substances like medium of motion, dharmastika, medium of race, or dharmastika, space, akash, time, kal, they are also non-living substances because they don't have consciousness within. So if I say that the matter is a non-living substance, partly it is true because matter is a non-living substance, but non-living substances are also other substances that we are mentioning over here. So to say that matter is a non-living substance only, then there is ativyakti dosh, means extension of character beyond the determined object. This non-living things, these non-living characteristics that we are talking over here, these non-living characteristics, it is also present in the other substances, and so to consider that the matter is definitely non-living substance only word only is important, then that is not true, because that character is also present in the other determined objects also. Yes, no, matter is a non-living substance, that's true, but this is the main characteristics. That is only the way non-living the matter can be recognized. Then it's not true, because it is present in the other substances also. So this is not going to be the absolute characteristics of the matter. It's one of the characteristics, but not absolute. Having said that, let's see the next one. What's the problem if we believe that matter substance is with a dynamism property, Kriyavati Shakti? Purposefully, I took this slide because it just opens a new subject. It's a very interesting subject. Dynamism means capacity to move. Capacity to move is present in a matter substance as well as in the soul. They both can have capacity to move with their own thing. This pencil moves from here to here. This pencil moves from here to here. It's because this pencil has dynamism property of its own. This is a matter substance. Pencil is a matter substance. And there is a dynamism property. So this pencil is moving from here to here. You say, wait a second, this is kind of a nuisance, because the gravity has pulled the pen down. Substance can move with their own capacity. Means the matter can move with its own capacity, and soul can move with its own capacity. So both, means soul and matter, they both have dynamism property. Now, okay, soul can move and we all can understand. But matter can move of its own. This doesn't make any sense at all. Yes, matter has a capacity to move by itself, and we'll prove it microscopically and macroscopically. We all have studied science in the high school. In the science, we had a chemistry and physics. When there was an atom description came in the class, what did our teacher tell us? He told us that atom, the science atom, is made up of made up of nucleus, and nucleus has a proton and neutrons, and there is electron circuit outside. Remember those things, electrical circuit? And from that thing, the valence is given, that hydrogen is 1 and oxygen is 2 and all kind of things. So when that atom has an electronic circuit around, the net around, and electrons are continuously moving. Who went to move this electron? Did I go there? Did a human being go there? Is there a soul going there to move those electrons in that electron circuit? Those electrons, they move by themselves. That we know it. So that atom, this atom that has been taught in the science is a substance, is a matter, and has an electron circuit that the electrons are moving by themselves. Because this matter, atomic particle, has capacity of its own to have those electrons move in particular form. Nobody's there to change them. Nobody's there to disturb them. It is their own property. Okay, all right, makes sense. Okay, right now we are in the daylight saving time and all the thing, and we change our time for the class from whatever time to whatever time right now. What is happening? Days are becoming long. The earth is moving on its own axis. Day and night, days after days after days, after weeks after weeks, after months after months, after billions of years. Who is moving this earth? Is there some soul sitting there in the form of Bhagwan, in the form of Lord, and he keeps on moving this earth all the time? No, earth has a capacity to move by itself. Atom has a capacity to have electron move in the circuit by itself. So this proves that matter substance has dynamism property of its own, and matter can move by its own way, and that's why this pencil is moving by itself, falling down. Or I'm throwing pencil up in the air and it's going up, because matter has its own dynamism property. Soul is also having dynamism property. How? Well, I want to go from point A to point B, and I decided that way. I means soul. Me as a soul decided to move from point A to point B. How did I move? Me as a spirit, how did I move? My soul moved by its own capacity, and the body associated with the soul moved by its own capacity. And so they both decided to move by their own capacity, and that's why me as a kid moved from point A to point B. So me moving has two substances moved together, soul moved together, and soul moved by itself, and matter moved by itself. To add to more confusion to this one, not confusion, it is important that we have to understand what are these substances made up of and what are the characteristics. And remember, each and every substance is independent. So me as a spirit with the soul, with this body has an infinite atomic particles, and each and every atomic particle, they behave their own way. It appears that my wife calls me and I go. So she called me, that's why I went. That's not true. She called for sure, but me as a soul at that time decided to move. My body particles by themselves decided to move themselves, and so body and soul combined together, matter and soul combined together, moved from point A to point B. Everybody was independent. Well, let's say that there's a patient in a hospital, has a stroke on the right side. His soul says, move, move, move. My body has to move. And hand says, no, I'm not going to move. Because at the time, hand particles, metal particles decided by themselves not to move. So, even the soul says, move, body may not move. So, body is separate, soul is separate. They both appear to be going together, and that's why we just say, me as a Kirit is moving. No, the two substances moving independent of their own. Here, a really when Gurudev Kanji Swami brought this this principle, of course, it was there since ages, but it was kind of sitting there. Nobody paid attention to it, and he brought this point to light. And you know what he said? Be prepared for this. What he said before? Next, he said that car moves by itself. Car particles, they have dynamism property, and those dynamism property decided to move from point A to point B. So car moved that way. Wait a second, who am I? Am I not the driver? Well, I am the driver, but my moving was independent, car's moving was independent. And so when he brought this radical idea, 50, 67, about 45, 50, about 70 years back, people said, my God, this guy is crazy and his car is moving by itself and not with petrol, not with gasoline. Well, gasoline is a substance by itself. Gasoline can move by itself, and so is car particles can move by themselves. And so me as a soul and me as a physical body, all those particles can move by themselves. So if I'm driving a car in which infinite particles of the cars, they are moving by themselves, gasoline produces energy by itself, I am becoming instrumental cause, handling steering, all those things are happening independently. Remember that dynamism property, Kriyavati Shakti, dynamism property is there independently in this matter substance. And every modification occurring in a given substance, whether it's a soul or matter. Once again, any modification occurring in any given substance, whether it's a soul or matter, it happens because of that particular substance only. Nobody can interfere. So this pencil is supposed to, the pencil's characteristics and pencil's modification say that this time, it's supposed to have motion and falling down. At the time, my fingers became instrumental cause and my fingers left the pencil, and other side, left hand decided to accept the pencil, but left hand did by itself, right hand fingers left the substance by themselves, and matter substance fell down by itself. Remember, Jainism believes in independence of each and every substance, not only every substance, but every modification occurring in a given substance is also independent. So this pencil has a modification which are predetermined since time infinite, and whatever future modifications are going to occur, they are already been decided that way. Me as a soul substance has infinite modification from before, now, and infinite in future. They are predetermined. And so at this time, my modification was supposed to be to let this finger go, let this pen go. In the pen, at that time, pencil, at that time, it was decided to move. So pencil moved by itself, and other hand decided to accept. All those things are happening independently. This is the very, very, very delicate point. And we have to, if we understand this point, then it becomes very easy that who am I? I am the one responsible for my own deeds. Nobody is responsible for that. Well, because such and such person drove me nuts and that's why I become crazy. Not necessarily. You don't have to become crazy. Somebody can drive you nuts. The best should come out from you rather than anger should come out, anger coming out from you. Why not the forbearance type of the real attribute coming out from you, from within you, when somebody's trying to make your life miserable? Well, it's all because I'm independent, so I react because of me only, not because somebody is trying to instigate against me. So these are very, very, very delicate points. And if we understand, remember, we are talking simple thing like matter. And how come we are talking so much detail about all this thing? Because each and every topic in a class that we take it, always there is a take-home message, and that is me as an independent substance. I'm the creator of my own problem. I'm the creator of my own things. I'm the creator of my own enlightenment, and all those things because of me and me and me only. Associated substances are there, but they do their own job. So, what's the problem if one believes that matter substance is having dynamism property? We already talked over here that dynamism property is present in matter as well as in the soul. Two substances have dynamism property. So dynamism property, if I label that one for the matter only, that's a not right characteristics. It will be with the form, because there is going to be dynamism is also property of the soul that we discussed. So this is called ativyapti dosh, means extension of character beyond the determined object. Extension of character. This dynamism property is a characteristic of matter, but it is also present in the soul. So this cannot be the absolute form of characteristics of matter particle. That's what the question is over here. I'm pretty sure you will start thinking, and you already have right now so many questions coming in your mind, and speak up if you have to, because this is a very important point to understand. If we have questions, if not today, maybe tomorrow, through the email, we can always talk anytime also, So this is one way to say that this extension of character beyond the determined object. That kind of fault comes when I just say that dynamism property is present only in the matter. Okay, we go to the next one now. What's the problem if we believe that matter substance is having property of having one space point? Now, this is another important point coming up. If remember, as we say, if I take this matter right now, divide into two and further into two and further into two and all the things, and I come to a last point in which I cannot make two pieces of this matter. And that is so, remember, when we said atom in science, which is a last point, which was believed last 30, 40, 50 years back, and then scientists found out that no, that atom also has a proton and neutrons and electrons and quarks and all kind of things are present in a matter in the atom. So excuse me. So atom is not the end part of a given substance, a given matter, even in the science today. Jainism goes beyond that. It says, no, that science atom you are saying is an aggregate of lots and lots of things. Proton, electron, neutron, quarks, and all kind of things present. So if we go beyond that and dissect further, then a point comes which is called last thing, which is called atom in Jain philosophy, which cannot be divided into two pieces, and that atom can be visualized only with the omniscience knowledge. Our knowledge is blunted. Our knowledge is not perfect. Our knowledge is halfway, somewhere. Remember, the bacterium, a given bacterium, that how much sense that bacteria has? Extremely minimal. And we go beyond that bacteria, and we just said how many lowest form of life having that's called nigod, how much consciousness present. It's so teeny tiny as that slightly less than that means that lowest form of life will become non-living matter. So teeny tiny. And then the growth, evolution occurs, and from 1 cent to 2 cents to 3 cents to 4 cents to 5 cents with the mind, that's where we are. But that is also not a complete knowledge. Ultimately, that knowledge complete becomes the omniscience knowledge, which omniscient Lord, the Aryan Bhagwan and liberated soul, the Siddha Bhagwan, can see, can perceive the whole universe, past, present, and future, and every matter with their own individual atomic end stage. Omniscient Lord can see. We don't have capacity to see that one. Anyway, so the Omniscient Lord described that atom, atomic particle. And again, remember, when lack of better words, we have to use the atomic particle, but that atomic particle is not the science atomic particle, Jain atomic particle, that we have to keep that one in mind. And that can occupy only one space point. And what is a space point now? Again, if I take this room and divide into two, further into two, further into two, and that again, I come back to a point in which that space I cannot further divide into two. That is called one space point, final microscopic point. So, Jain atomic matter particle occupies one space point. Now, that atomic particle has a capacity having a touch sensation, touch, taste, smell, and color. Those are the property of the matter particle, absolute property of matter particles. And because that matter particle also has a touch sensation present as a specific characteristic, that touch sensation could be a sticky touch. And because of that sticky nature of the touch, one atomic particle will join with the other atomic particle, join, it will become compound. Remember in the chemistry class, we are given a substance, a compound, and then we have been said, separate them out, that what are the things present, and then we just do that wire, and we just put the flame through it, and if certain color comes, whatever, and all those things we used to do to identify a given substance. This is sodium and this is chloride, and all kind of things, and sodium and chloride combine to become salt. These kind of things we used to do experiment. Same way, these atomic particles, they have the touch sensation, sticky touch sensation. So one atomic particle will join with the other atomic particle, and third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and everything, and then an aggregate molecule will occur. Aggregate molecule will have more than one atomic particle, maybe countable particles, maybe uncountable particles, maybe infinite particles. They can get aggregate. When those aggregate particles get together with infinite atomic particles, then it becomes one karma particle. That karma particle, having infinite atomic substances present within, infinite atomic substances present within, that also we cannot see. No living being can see except omniscient Lord and liberated soul. They can perceive those things, and that's why omniscient Lord in his messages to us, he described all this thing to us. Okay, so now coming to the point, one atomic particle occupies one space point, and that is the characteristics of that particular atom. Now, if I say that matter substance is having property of having one space point only, is it a true statement? Number one, atomic particle of the matter can occupy one space point, but that atomic particle also can combine with the other one, and infinite one, and can make aggregate of molecule. My physical body is made up of infinite atomic particles. And so, if we say that the only characteristics of matter is to a property of having one space point, then it's not a true statement. Because time substance, now we go to, remember, we have the time substance also, time into inverted comma. There are 6 substances: soul, matter, medium motion, medium space, and time. This time substance, there are innumerable time units as a substance present in the whole cosmic space. If we divide cosmic space into all the space points, cosmic space will include this sun system and infinite of the sun systems present in a Milky Ways, and all those things. All those things combined together is called cosmic space. And if I divide that cosmic space into microscopic is not the right word, but teeny tiniest space points, those space points that I cannot divide into 2, that kind of space point and property, that space point are innumerable in the universe. And on each space point, there is one time substance sitting. So time substance definitely has occupation of one space point only. So this space point and this space point and third and fourth and fifth and sixth, they all have one time substance present and so they are also occupying one space point. And so if I believe that matter substance is having property having one space point only, what only here is there, then that is not true, because time substance also occupies one space point. So this is going to be ativyapti dos, means extension of character beyond the determined object. Matter having one space point is a one characteristic, and that characteristics also present in time substance. So this cannot be the absolute property of matter substance. See, Acharya Bhagwan tries to give us food for thoughts that, simply knowing matter substance is not important, but we have to know lot more detail inside that what it is and everything. We have to have pretty good idea what is happening. So that what it is that it makes our thought process become very refined. And now we know that every substance is different and they have their own characteristics. Some characteristics can overlap with the others, but that may not be specific characteristics. Characteristics present in a given substance has to be absolutely specific for that only. For example, in matter, what will be a specific absolute characteristics which can separate from all other substances of the universe? And as we said already before, touch, taste, smell, color, etc. Infinite attributes are specific for matter particles. So am I supposed to know all those infinite attributes of the matter to separate the matter? Not necessarily. Why? As we said before, that if I'm given 2 edible white powder in 2 different bowls, and I was being told, tell me what is what. And I tasted, one white powder tasted sweet. Other white powder tasted salty. And what did I come to conclusion? This is sugar, this is salt. Sugar and salt both are matter particles and having infinite attributes present within, but I picked up only taste attribute, and from taste attribute I said this is definitely sugar, this is definitely salt. So I don't have to know infinite attributes. Few characteristics of those attributes if I know, then I can live with that. I'm the soul. How can I be identified separately from the body? Well, me as a soul has a property of consciousness. This consciousness property is not present in this non-living matter body. If a person is been living right now, and moment happened, and he's been called dead. What happened? He's still having eyes, ear, nose, throat, and everything is there. How come I just say he's dead right now? Because the conscious element present within the body left, and so consciousness is not there, and that state of the material body we call as a death. Exact same thing is there. The body is there, which was there 5 minutes before. He was able to talk, walk, see, hear, feel, perceive, and everything. Now, nothing happens. If it was hot, he used to feel the heat. It was a cold, he used to feel cold and everything. He was hungry, he was eating. And now, same body present. It is kept in the cold storage. That body doesn't complain that there is it's too cold, or you just burn that body out in the furnace, body doesn't complain because there's no consciousness present there. It was a conscious element within me was the reason that I was feeling heat and cold and hunger and all kind of feeling that I had it. So here, matter can be known by touch, taste, smell, and color, etc. Infinite attributes. But if I just say that that matter also can have one property of occupying one space point, only that characteristics is not present only in the matter, because it is also present in time substance. So this kind of characteristics to consider as specific for matter will be a wrong one. Okay, let's go further. What's the problem if one believes that matter substance is the aggregate of atoms? Remember just now 5 minutes back we said that matter particle, last part of the matter is called atom, Jain atom, and that atom gets aggregation and becomes an aggregate molecule, a log of a heap of all the atomic particles. So if I believe that matter substance is only aggregate of atoms, only aggregate of atoms, is there any fault? Yes, because matter substance can be found as a single atom having occupying one space point, and also can be in the form of aggregate molecule consisting of countable, uncountable, and infinite atomic particles. So if I take this substance, if I take these characteristics of aggregate atoms is a characteristics of matter, then it doesn't hold true, because just now we discussed that atom can be in a single atom, matter can be in single atomic form, it could be aggregate forms also, form of atoms also. So this is if considering that matter substance is aggregate of atoms only, word only, then it's a fault of non-inclusion that we are creating. So we have to be aware of it. Yes, matter can be an aggregate of atoms, and matter can be a single atomic form also. They could be in both the forms, not only one, but it could be both forms. That has to be my mindset, and that way I can understand what a matter is, because I want to absolutely identify matter. So if I did say touch is only in matter, cannot be in a soul. You mean I don't feel touch? Me as a soul do not feel touch? No. Why? Because touch is a characteristic, these specific characteristics of matter, and soul has an absence of touch within, because characteristics of touch is the absolute characteristics for matter only. So it is present in matter only and not in any other substances. And that's why, can soul feel the touch or not? No, I don't feel the touch. Wait, this is kind of getting a nuisance now. Here it is, I can see the smoothness of this pen right now, or I can see the roughness of this paper over here and everything. And you are saying that I don't feel the touch? No, because touch is a characteristics of a matter substance and the soul substance. And I simply end up knowing, because my characteristics as a soul is to know only. So I end up knowing that this aggregate of atoms has a smooth touch. I end up knowing. I did not feel that. I end up knowing. Knowing and feeling is two different things. Knowing, simply knowing. Let's see. I'm on a freeway. I'm driving the car. How many cars are passing by? How many cars did I pass and everything? Hundred and hundred and hundred of cars I passed by. I saw them. I saw them. If I didn't see them, naturally I will end up going to the accident. So I saw them. But do I have feeling for all those cars? Some is Mercedes, some is Tesla, some is Toyota, some is Lexus. All those different trucks are there, buses are there, trailers are. I just saw them. I did not have any feeling for that. But now, let's turn around. And now, my car is getting old, and I said, maybe I should buy the car. And Chirag in the temple brought the brand new red colored Tesla car, and he gave so much description about the car, how car automatically parked by itself, and this and that, and all kind of things that he told me about it. And suppose I get convinced that I want to buy that car, that kind of car. Now what will happen when I'm on the freeway? Suddenly, a Mercedes passes. Oh wow, that looks good, but no, it's not my cup of tea. Some convertible car passes. Well, my time has gone through, so it's not my cup of tea. Now I get feeling for that. Previously, I was just observing. Now I have a feeling attached with that. So I cannot touch anything. I can see the thing. I can perceive them, but I can. So the smoothness of this pencil, and I'm feeling it with my finger. My finger is an aggregate of atoms. They also touch sensation. So they felt the touch. And my soul registered that finger is touching the smoothness of the pencil. That's it. Soul does not have touch sensation. So these are the way we have to keep on analyzing the fact that we learn, and we keep thinking about it. Okay, let's go one more. Oh, well, I don't think we have time for one more. We already time is up. So any questions so far? Because I had touched very raw subjects today, and I'm pretty sure lots of questions are arising in your mind right now. And the whole idea is to have those questions arise in your mind. Whole idea, because that question comes, you will look for the answer, and when you know for the answer, ultimately it will say, I'm separate from the matter. Matter is matter, and I'm the conscious soul. So my duty is my responsibility, my duty, my accountability only is my soul substance. Matter, I'm associated with this matter right now, but this association only. So those kind of thought process has to be generated. Those kind of thought process, when it comes, and then you if you cannot answer, throw the email. We can try to talk about it and try to find out what is the right thing. Any questions so far?
Kate, but this is quite a heavy subject, so you have to go through twice, thrice to even understand what questions can be raised.
Yes, yeah. And purposefully, I'm touching some of the difficult subjects because, and again, these are extreme basic things we are doing, and those things, as we understand that these are the subjects present, it will be coming in the future. We'll go in great detail. We are just getting some kind of a feeling for those kind of things, that these are the things there that we'll have to know about it, And nothing is difficult if we put our heart into it. Sure, it appears to be difficult for me to accept that car moves by itself. Yes, but thinking about it again and again and again, it will become second nature. It will become easier for us to understand. We'll go through again detail. Don't worry about it. Yes, you are right.
we'd like to have a copy of it so that we can.
I'll send it out. I'll send it. And this is a new time we did, and yeah.
No.
I hope this time is convenient to everybody, because we'll also do tomorrow the same time also. So hopefully I'll send the email out tonight, okay?
Yes.
Okay, all right. We'll do the closing now. Javani ke gyan se suje lokalo, sovani mastaka namo sada deta hu dhok. 9 times namo ka mantra. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Namo orientanam namo siddhanam namo aranam namo jam namo loe sausanam. Jai Jinendra. Michayandukadam.
Jai Jinendra Bhai.
Jai Jinendra. Thank you.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.